Hello, welcome to Culture TV and to our online program, Let's Speak Russian. This is lesson 14. So in this video, we're going to find out how to ask questions in Russian. And all of this will be based on our knowledge of verbs that we've been looking at in the previous two lessons. Before we get started with this though, let's first of all do some quick revision on our basic words and phrases, just to make sure that you're not forgetting them. So imagine this situation. You've just arrived at work in the morning, you see your boss, and you want to greet them. What would you say? Very good. You would use Здравствуйте. Здравствуйте. It's a formal situation. You would use Привет with friends and family, right? Okay, now how would you say good morning? Yes, that's right. Доброе утро. Доброе утро. Very good. Now, what about thank you? How do you say this in Russian? Excellent. Спасибо. Спасибо. And one more. How do you say sorry? How do you apologize to a friend in Russian? Great. Извини. Извини. Sorry. And of course, if this were a formal situation, you would add on the te to make it извините. Okay, very good. So now I would like to take a look at the answers to the homework. If you remember, I gave you 5 phrases to try to translate into Russian, and this of course relied you on knowing the conjunction что, which means that in this case. So let's have a look at the first one. I know that you know. So we take the verb to know, знать, we conjugate it in the first person, so I know, and we get я знаю, right? Simple regular verb. Then we add in что, that, and then you know will be ты знаешь. Я знаю, что ты знаешь. The second one. He knows that I work. Он знает, что я работаю. Он знает, что я работаю. The next one. We work and they run. Мы работаем, а они бегают. Мы работаем, а они бегают. Now you could have used и here to mean and. It's just that in this case, a sounds a bit more natural, but this doesn't matter at all. The most important point is, of course, that you got the мы работаем, and then они бегают. Okay? Now, a possible translation of yes, I think so in Russian would be думаю, что да. Думаю, что да. I think that yes, literally. And do notice that sometimes it is possible to drop the pronouns in Russian. This doesn't happen that often, but because we've changed the ending of the verb, we've conjugated it, we already know who is doing the action. So sometimes it's fine to do that. Another way of saying this could be да, я так думаю. Да, я так думаю. Так, in this case, meaning so. And finally, they say that they understand. Они говорят, что понимают. Они говорят, что понимают. And again, it's the same idea here. Because we've already introduced the subject of the sentence at the start, we don't really have to repeat it again. Они говорят, что понимают. Okay, great. So if you have any questions about that, then please feel free to ask in the comments. Now we're going to learn how to ask questions ourselves in Russian. And for that, we're going to have a look at interrogative pronouns. Interrogative, so this is to do with interrogation, questioning people. And pronouns, as you know already, are words that replace nouns. So in simple terms, these are all the question words. In English, we say the 5 W's, and then the H as well for how. So just to clarify, we'll be talking about open questions in this video. So those are the ones that can't be answered with yes or no. You can't affirm or negate an open question. That would be a closed question, and those will be dealt with in the next video. For now, we're going to be looking at how to ask what, where, when, why, and so on. So let's take a look at how you say these words in Russian. What will be что? Что? So yes, indeed, we've just seen что as that, as a conjunction, but it does have a second meaning, and that is what, the question word. Что? Где? Где means where. Кто is who. Кто. Когда. Когда is when. Почему. Почему means why. So here are all the 5 W's. You know how to say how already from phrases like как дела, how are you? Now, perhaps a good way to remember a few of these words here is through the name of a Russian TV program. Что, где, когда, which literally means what, where, when, of course. And this is a TV program, sort of like a quiz show, but not really testing popular knowledge. Here, in each episode, there is a group of very intellectual people who get asked questions by anyone around the country, so anyone who wants to can send in a question, and of course it can't be trivial, it has to be something quite sophisticated, where the masterminds, if you like, have to discuss it with each other, they have to come up with a solution to some sort of problem, and it's really not a straightforward question. And if they don't answer your question, then you get a prize for it, some amount of money. And it's been around since, as you can see, 1975, and it's still quite popular today. Okay, so now let's do some practice. How would you say in Russian, what are you doing? What are you doing? So pause the video, have a think about it. Okay, so it would be что ты делаешь? Что ты делаешь? Что is what, and then you are doing, or you do, is ты делаешь. Что ты делаешь? Okay? How about why does he know this? Why does he know this? Почему он это знает? Почему он это знает? Okay? Don't worry about the word order here. You could have equally said почему он знает это. It all means the same. How about this one? Who is speaking? Who's speaking? Great. In Russian it would be кто говорит? Кто говорит? Now try this one. When is she working? Or when does she work? Когда она работает? Когда она работает? Fantastic. And now the last one for today. Where do they run? Or where are they running? Do remember, by the way, that there is no difference in Russian between the continuous tense, what is in progress right now, and the general, simple present tense. It's all the same in Russian. Okay, so it would be где они бегают? Где они бегают? Okay, so that's it for today. All I'd like you to do is a bit of practice. Try forming a few of these questions yourself, using all the vocabulary that you have already. And we'll be building on this time and looking at other ways of asking questions and other forms of statements as well. Thank you very much for your attention. See you next time. Goodbye.